Our thoughts are incredibly powerful. They shape our reality, our actions, and ultimately our lives. Think about it. Every decision you make, every action you take begins as a thought. Whether it's something simple like choosing what to eat for breakfast, or something more complex like deciding to pursue a new career path, everything starts in the mind. This means that the thoughts you entertain regularly, especially the lazy ones, have the power to steer your life in directions you might not even realize. When we have lazy thoughts like I'll do it tomorrow or I'm too tired to get started, they not only delay the task at hand, but they also start to accumulate in our minds. Over time, these thoughts become habits, and we begin to adopt the mindset that we don't need to act right now, or that we can procrastinate indefinitely. These little indulgences in laziness create a pattern of behavior that becomes harder and harder to break as time goes on. Eventually, we might find ourselves constantly putting things off, avoiding responsibilities, or simply not pursuing the things that matter to us. Recognizing the power of your thoughts means understanding that you can either let your thoughts control you or you can take control of them. Just like a gardener removes weeds before they take over the garden, you must remove lazy, unproductive thoughts before they dominate your mind. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring them. It means acknowledging them and choosing to focus on a more productive, goal-oriented mindset. For example, when you catch yourself thinking, I don't feel like working on this project today, you can recognize that thought and then choose to reframe it. Instead of giving in to the impulse to be lazy, you can ask yourself, what's the first small step I can take right now to make progress? This simple shift in thinking turns an unproductive moment into an opportunity to move forward. By recognizing that your thoughts shape your actions, you can begin to consciously redirect your energy towards more empowering ideas. Your mind is like a muscle that gets stronger the more you exercise it. The more you practice recognizing and overcoming lazy thoughts, the easier it becomes. When you get in the habit of challenging these thoughts instead of letting them take root, you're training yourself to take decisive, focused actions. Eventually, you'll find that your thoughts no longer have the same power over you. They'll no longer be able to dictate your behaviors or hold you back. Instead, you'll become the one in charge of your thoughts, setting the course for your future based on what you truly want to accomplish. Setting clear, achievable goals is one of the most powerful ways to combat lazy thoughts and procrastination. Often the reason we feel stuck or overwhelmed by tasks is because we don't know exactly what we want to achieve or how to get there. Without clarity, our minds can easily fall into the trap of laziness as the next steps are unclear or seem too daunting. However, when you set specific, well-defined goals, you create a roadmap that not only guides your actions but also provides a sense of purpose and motivation to keep moving forward. One of the main reasons people fail to achieve their goals is because they are either too vague or unrealistic. For instance, saying I want to get in shape is a great starting point, but it lacks clarity and actionable steps. How will you know when you've achieved this goal? What actions will you take to get there? Instead, break the goal down into something more tangible, like I will exercise for 30 minutes every morning, 5 days a week, or I will run a 5K in the next 3 months. Now you have something measurable with clear steps to take, which makes it far less likely for lazy thoughts to get in the way. Clear goals provide direction and focus. When you know exactly what you're working toward, it becomes easier to push aside distractions and lazy thoughts. For example, when you set a goal to complete a project by the end of the week, you'll naturally prioritize your time and energy toward that goal rather than allowing your mind to wander or make excuses about why you're too tired to work. Clear goals don't just give you a destination. They help you organize your time, energy, and resources in a way that aligns with your priorities, eliminating the fog of uncertainty that can often lead to procrastination. Additionally, achievable goals are crucial because they help to build momentum. If a goal is too large or feels unattainable, it can easily lead to overwhelm. When you set smaller, more manageable goals, you experience the satisfaction of making progress regularly. This sense of achievement propels you forward, and it becomes easier to overcome lazy thoughts that tell you it's not worth the effort. For example, if you're working on writing a book, rather than saying I'll write a book, which can seem overwhelming, you could set a goal like I will write 500 words every day. This small, consistent effort adds up over time and builds the momentum you need to tackle bigger tasks. Another key element in setting achievable goals is knowing your why. Understanding why you want to accomplish something gives you the inner drive to stay focused. Whether it's to improve your health, grow your career, or complete a creative project, reminding yourself of the deeper reasons behind your goals can push you past lazy thoughts and temptations to quit. For example, when you are tempted to skip a workout, reminding yourself of the health benefits or how good you'll feel afterward can help you take action. By connecting your goals to a personal, meaningful why, you strengthen your commitment and make it harder for laziness to take root. Finally, it's important to regularly assess and adjust your goals as needed. Life is unpredictable and circumstances change. Sometimes a goal might no longer align with your values, or you might realize that a goal is too ambitious for your current situation. This doesn't mean failure, it means that you're adjusting and adapting. Regularly reviewing your goals allows you to stay on track, but it also provides an opportunity to recalibrate and find new, more achievable objectives when necessary. This process of continual reassessment keeps your mind engaged and motivated, and it helps you avoid the trap of stagnant thinking, which often leads to lazy thoughts and inaction. When you have clear, achievable goals, you create a framework for success. This framework provides the structure and motivation to combat laziness, helping you stay focused, productive, and confident in your ability to reach your full potential. One of the most effective ways to fight lazy thoughts and cultivate consistent productivity is by establishing a routine. Routines are the foundation of discipline and focus, and they serve as the backbone of any successful endeavor. When you have a set routine, you eliminate the need for constant decision-making about what to do next, which is often where procrastination and lazy thoughts take root. Instead of relying on fleeting moments of motivation or waiting for the right time, a routine ensures that you are taking consistent action day in and day out, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The beauty of a routine is that it simplifies your day. When you wake up knowing exactly what you need to do and when, there's less room for indecision and procrastination. For example, if your routine includes waking up at a set time every day, immediately doing a 10-minute stretch, and then sitting down to work on your most important task for the first hour, you remove the chance for lazy thoughts to disrupt your productivity. A routine doesn't require you to feel motivated or inspired, it simply requires you to follow through with the plan you've set for yourself. This removes the reliance on your emotions or fleeting desires, which are often the fuel for procrastination and lazy thinking. A routine also helps you manage your energy more effectively. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of doing it all, but without a structured plan, you can easily burn yourself out or lose focus. By establishing a routine that includes time for work, rest, and self-care, you ensure that you are not pushing yourself too hard or neglecting important areas of your life. For example, if you allocate a set amount of time each day for physical exercise, creative work, and relaxation, you're ensuring that you're balancing productivity with necessary recovery. This balance is key to sustaining long-term focus and avoiding burnout, which is another sneaky source of lazy thoughts. When you're well-rested and rejuvenated, it's much easier to tackle your tasks with clarity and energy. In addition to improving your energy management, a well-structured routine enhances time management. Many people struggle with lazy thoughts because they feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks on their plate. Without a clear plan of action, it's easy to waste time deciding what to do next or stressing about how to fit everything in. A routine eliminates this stress by creating designated blocks of time for each task. You no longer have to think about what comes next because it's already laid out for you. Whether it's a designated time for answering emails, working on a specific project, or unwinding in the evening, Your routine keeps you moving through each task with purpose and intention rather than getting sidetracked by distractions or lazy thoughts. Having a routine also builds momentum. Once you start following a routine consistently, you begin to form habits, and habits are powerful tools in breaking free from lazy thinking. For example, if you've made it a habit to wake up at 6 a.m. and immediately engage in a 20-minute workout, this action becomes automatic. You don't have to talk yourself into it or convince yourself to do it. You simply do it because it's part of your routine. This automaticity reduces the mental effort required to get started on any task, making it much easier to push past the initial resistance that often comes with starting something new. Over time, this momentum builds, and you'll find that you can accomplish more and more with less effort and more focus. Consistency is another key advantage of establishing a routine. The more consistent you are with your routine, the more ingrained it becomes in your daily life. Even on days when motivation is low, having a routine ensures that you keep showing up and doing the work. This consistency is often the difference between success and failure. When you rely on motivation or inspiration to guide your actions, you may find yourself stuck during the days when those feelings aren't there. However, a routine ensures that even when you don't feel like doing something, you have a plan in place that forces you to take action regardless of your mood. Over time, this consistency creates a solid foundation for productivity, which becomes harder for lazy thoughts to penetrate. One of the key aspects of a successful routine is that it doesn't need to be rigid. While structure is essential, flexibility is equally important. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and sometimes unexpected events or challenges arise. The key is to design a routine that is adaptable, allowing you to shift your plans when necessary without completely throwing you off course. For example, if you miss your morning workout due to an unexpected meeting, you can simply shift it to the afternoon without feeling defeated. The flexibility within your routine ensures that you maintain your commitment to your goals even when life doesn't follow your script. Finally, routines help you cultivate a sense of accomplishment. Each day that you follow through with your routine, you're building a sense of discipline and self-trust. When you achieve the small goals you set for the day, you feel more confident and capable. This sense of accomplishment propels you forward and makes it easier to stay consistent with your routine. As the days go by, this steady progress becomes a reflection of your commitment and determination, reducing the power that lazy thoughts have over you. Accountability is one of the most powerful tools in overcoming lazy thoughts and ensuring consistent progress toward your goals. The reason why many people fall victim to procrastination or fail to follow through on their intentions is because they don't have someone or something holding them accountable. It's easy to let things slide when there's no external push or check-in. When we don't have to answer to anyone or report our progress, we often let lazy thoughts dictate our behavior, thinking I'll do it later or it's not a big deal if I take a break now. However, when you introduce accountability into your life, you create a system that encourages consistency, focus, and follow through, making it much harder for laziness to take control. The first step in leveraging accountability is to share your goals with someone else. This could be a friend, family member, mentor, or colleague, someone who will hold you to your word and check in on your progress. When you share your goals with others, you're creating a sense of responsibility. There's something about telling someone your intentions that makes you more committed to actually achieving them. It's no longer just a private wish or desire. It's a commitment that you've made out loud. And now there's an external force encouraging you to follow through. Knowing that someone is expecting updates or progress from you can be a powerful motivator to take action, even when lazy thoughts try to convince you to procrastinate. One of the key reasons why accountability works so well is because it taps into the principle of social pressure. Humans are naturally social beings, and we tend to care about how we are perceived by others. When we know that someone else is watching our progress, we're less likely to let ourselves off the hook. The fear of letting someone down or appearing uncommitted can override the lazy thoughts that might otherwise derail our efforts. For example, if you've told a friend that you're going to write 500 words every day for a week, you're more likely to stick to that promise, Not just because you want to achieve the goal, but also because you don't want to face the disappointment of telling your friend that you didn't follow through. The social contract helps you stay accountable to yourself and your goals. However, accountability doesn't only come from other people. It can also come from tracking your progress on your own. Keeping a journal, planner, or digital tracker can provide a sense of accountability to yourself. When you have a visual record of your progress, it becomes much harder to ignore the actions you haven't taken. For instance, when you mark off the days you've exercised, written, or worked on a project, you're reinforcing your commitment to those actions. This form of self-accountability can help you recognize patterns of behavior, both good and bad, and keep you motivated to keep going. It also allows you to celebrate the small wins along the way, which reinforces the habit of taking action and staying productive. Accountability works even better when it's a two-way street. This means finding an accountability partner who is equally committed to their own goals so you can support each other. A mutual agreement to hold each other accountable creates a sense of partnership and shared purpose. You can check in with each other regularly, share updates, and encourage each other to stay on track. When you are both working towards something, the support you provide for each other becomes a motivating force. For example, if your accountability partner is working on a fitness goal and you're working on a writing goal, you can create a routine where you both check in daily or weekly to share progress. Not only does this create mutual motivation, but it also makes the process more enjoyable and collaborative, as you both invested in each other's success. In addition to external accountability, setting deadlines is another effective way to stay accountable. Deadlines create a sense of urgency, which directly counters the lazy thought of, I can put this off until later. When you have a clear deadline, there's a built-in pressure to act now and make progress. Deadlines don't just apply to large goals, they can also be used for smaller tasks. For example, you might set a deadline for finishing a report by the end of the day or for completing a certain number of tasks by the end of the week. The act of setting deadlines forces you to prioritize and focus, knowing that there's a limit to when the task must be completed. This time constraint removes the luxury of procrastination, and it helps you take immediate action rather than letting lazy thoughts take over. Another powerful aspect of accountability is the opportunity for constructive feedback. When you share your goals and progress with others, you open yourself up to feedback and suggestions. This can help you identify areas for improvement or new approaches that you might not have considered on your own. Constructive feedback can also provide you with valuable insights into why you might be struggling or falling behind on certain tasks. Maybe your approach to a project isn't as effective as it could be, or you're overlooking some essential details. Having someone provide a fresh perspective can help you course correct and find a better path forward. This feedback loop strengthens your ability to learn, adapt, and ultimately overcome any lazy thoughts that might be holding you back. One of the most profound benefits of accountability is the sense of accomplishment that comes from knowing someone else has witnessed your progress. When you've made a commitment to someone and followed through, it's not just about personal satisfaction, it's about honoring the trust and commitment you've made with another person. This external recognition can be incredibly rewarding and motivating. Whether it's a simple well done from your accountability partner or a more formal acknowledgement of your progress, this validation reinforces the positive behavior and boosts your confidence. It's easier to feel proud of your achievements when you have someone else cheering you on and recognizing the hard work you've put in. Ultimately, accountability serves as a constant reminder that you are not alone in your journey. Whether through external support or self-reflection, the act of holding yourself or someone else accountable creates a powerful structure for overcoming lazy thoughts and achieving your goals. With accountability in place, there's less room for excuses, distractions, or procrastination. It becomes easier to take action and stay focused on the tasks that matter most. One of the most pervasive and dangerous lazy thoughts we encounter is the I'll do it later mindset. It seems harmless at first, doesn't it? We think to ourselves, I'm just too tired right now, or I'll feel more like doing it later. The problem with this mindset is that it's often a form of self-deception, a way of procrastinating that we justify in our own minds. While it might seem like putting something off will be okay for the moment, each time we say, I'll do it later, we are reinforcing a habit of delay that only leads to more stress, more work, and more missed opportunities in the long run. The reality is that the later you keep waiting for never seems to arrive, and the tasks you put off build up, making the job seem even more overwhelming as time passes. Overcoming the "I'll do it later" mindset requires a shift in how we approach tasks. Instead of viewing tasks as something that can be postponed until we feel more like doing them, we need to train ourselves to recognize that every moment we delay is a moment we're losing. The longer we wait, the more pressure builds and the greater the mental and emotional toll becomes. The truth is, the sooner we start, the easier the task will be in the long run and the less stress we'll experience overall. Every time we push something off, we're adding a layer of anxiety to the process. The more we delay, the more we associate that task with negative emotions, making it even harder to get started the next time. One of the most effective ways to counter the "I'll do it later" mindset is by breaking down tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Often we put things off because the task seems too big or overwhelming. For example, if you've been putting off writing a report because you feel it's too much to handle at once, try breaking it into sections. Instead of telling yourself, "I'll write the whole report later," commit to writing just one section today. The moment you reduce the task into smaller pieces, it suddenly feels more manageable and less daunting. By focusing on one small step at a time, you'll find it much easier to get started, and once you do, momentum begins to build. What seemed like an insurmountable task now feels like a series of easy, achievable actions that are much more manageable. Another strategy is to create immediate consequences for your actions, or lack of them. The "I'll do it later" mindset thrives because there's no immediate consequence for putting things off. If you tell yourself, "I'll get to it later," and there's no pressing deadline, it's easy to push the task aside. But what if you added an accountability system that created a consequence for procrastination? For instance, if you're working on a personal project, you might tell yourself that you can't enjoy your favorite hobby, like watching a TV show or playing a game, until the task is complete. By linking a pleasant activity to the completion of a task, you create a natural incentive to stop procrastinating. You can also make the consequences more immediate by committing to a deadline or setting a timer. If you know you've promised yourself that you will work for just 30 minutes before taking a break, you're less likely to succumb to the urge to put things off, since you've made the task time-bound and limited. Visualizing the outcome is another effective way to combat the "I'll do it later" mindset. Sometimes our laziness comes from a lack of clarity on what the end result of a task will be. We might feel disconnected from the purpose or reward of completing the task, which makes it easy to put it off. However, if you actively visualize how great it will feel to accomplish the task, whether it's finishing a project, getting a good night's sleep after exercising, or feeling proud of your progress, the desire to delay starts to fade. You'll begin to associate the act of completing the task with positive emotions, making it more appealing to tackle sooner rather than later. This emotional connection to the end result can significantly reduce the temptation to procrastinate and allow you to see the task as an opportunity rather than a burden. Additionally, understanding that later often never comes is a crucial realization. We are creatures of habit, and if we keep telling ourselves we'll do things at a later time, we're essentially creating a pattern of procrastination that becomes self-reinforcing. The more we tell ourselves later, the more we train ourselves to avoid tasks until they become urgent. And by the time urgency sets in, we're often under the pressure of a looming deadline, leading to stress, poor performance, and mistakes. This cycle creates more procrastination, as the negative emotions attached to delayed tasks only make us want to avoid them even more. By committing to act right now, we break this cycle. The moment you choose to act on a task, you stop reinforcing the "I'll do it later" habit and start building a new pattern of taking immediate action, which ultimately leads to greater productivity, less stress, and a sense of accomplishment. A practical approach to overcoming the "I'll do it later" mindset is to make the decision to start with just a few minutes of focused work. Often, we tell ourselves we'll do it later because we fear the effort it will take to start. We think we need to be in the perfect mood or have the perfect conditions to begin. However, if you simply commit to doing the task for just 5 minutes, you lower the barrier to entry. This small commitment often leads to bigger results, as starting is the hardest part. Once you are engaged in the task, you'll often find that you can keep going, and that initial resistance fades away. By breaking the task into a small time frame, you trick your brain into overcoming the resistance of starting, and before you know it, the task is well underway. Finally, another effective method for overcoming procrastination is by recognizing and confronting the underlying fears or discomforts that are causing the delay. Sometimes we put things off not because we are inherently lazy, but because we are afraid of failure, judgment, or making mistakes. These fears can manifest as procrastination, and the only way to break through this is to acknowledge them. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I start now? What's the worst thing that could happen if I make a mistake or don't do it perfectly? Often, the fear we experience around a task is far worse than the reality of actually doing the work. By confronting these fears head-on and choosing to move forward anyway, we eliminate the mental roadblocks that lead to procrastination. The more you push past these fears, the more you'll realize that the task is really as daunting as your mind made it out to be. One of the most significant challenges in overcoming lazy thoughts is learning to embrace discomfort and push through the resistance that arises when we are faced with tasks we would rather avoid. Whether it's the mental resistance to starting something we find boring or difficult, or the physical discomfort of exerting effort in the pursuit of a goal, most people are conditioned to avoid discomfort. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, but in doing so, we often create a pattern where we continually choose the path of least resistance, leading to procrastination, laziness, and missed opportunities. Overcoming this natural tendency to avoid discomfort is a crucial step in breaking free from lazy thoughts and achieving the success we desire. One key aspect of embracing discomfort is recognizing that growth rarely happens in comfort zones. The tasks that challenge us, the ones that seem difficult or even overwhelming, are often the very things that push us to grow. Whether it's taking on a difficult project at work, pushing your physical limits with exercise, or having a tough conversation with someone, it's in these moments of discomfort where real progress happens. However, the problem is that our brains are naturally inclined to avoid these discomforts. So we need to train ourselves to view discomfort differently. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, we need to start seeing it as a sign of growth and progress. For example, when you start working on a new project or task that requires you to stretch your abilities, you may feel resistance. This could manifest as a sense of dread, a desire to put it off, or even self-doubt. However, by acknowledging that this discomfort is part of the process, you can shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on the discomfort itself, focus on the potential benefit that will come from pushing through it. If you are working on a big presentation and feeling anxious, remember that it's in overcoming that anxiety and pushing through the resistance that you will gain confidence and experience. The more you lean into discomfort, the more familiar it becomes, and the easier it is to keep moving forward despite the resistance. One way to push through discomfort is by breaking the task into smaller, more manageable steps. As we discussed earlier, large tasks can seem overwhelming and intimidating, leading to procrastination. But when you break those tasks into smaller chunks, the discomfort becomes less intimidating. Instead of seeing the entire project as one huge, uncomfortable task, you now only have to focus on one small part at a time. This makes the task seem more approachable and reduces the resistance you feel. By taking one step at a time, you build momentum and confidence, and the discomfort becomes less significant as you progress. Another strategy to overcome discomfort is by practicing self-compassion. Often we avoid discomfort because we fear failure or feel like we won't be good enough. This fear of failure can create a barrier that stops us from even attempting to move forward. Instead of avoiding the discomfort of failure, it's essential to change our relationship with it. Failure is a natural part of the growth process and should be viewed as a learning opportunity, not as something to be feared. When you fail, you gain valuable insights that you can use to improve and do better next time. By allowing yourself to fail and embracing discomfort, you remove the fear that holds you back and make progress regardless of the outcome. In addition to this, developing mental resilience is another crucial component in pushing through discomfort. Mental resilience is the ability to stay focused and maintain your efforts even when things get tough. When faced with discomfort, most people's natural instinct is to quit, to avoid the feelings of frustration, self-doubt, or fear. However, resilience allows you to push past those natural instincts and continue toward your goal. Building mental resilience requires consistent practice. Starting small and gradually increasing the level of discomfort you can handle. For example, if you find it difficult to exercise regularly, begin with shorter workouts, gradually building up the duration and intensity as you get stronger. By continually exposing yourself to discomfort in small doses, you build the mental fortitude needed to handle bigger challenges with greater ease. An important aspect of embracing discomfort is reframing your mindset around the task at hand. Instead of viewing it as something unpleasant or painful, try to reframe it as an opportunity for self-discovery or growth. For example, when faced with a difficult assignment, instead of thinking this is going to be so hard and uncomfortable, reframe it as this is going to challenge me, but I'll learn something new and grow from the experience. This shift in perspective can transform how you feel about discomfort. Instead of avoiding it, you begin to welcome it as part of the process of becoming better, smarter, and stronger. Over time, this shift in mindset makes discomfort feel less threatening and the resistance you face becomes less powerful. Another effective technique for overcoming resistance and discomfort is to set a clear why for everything you do. When you understand the purpose behind a task and connect it to a greater goal or value, the discomfort associated with the task becomes more bearable. For instance, if you're working on a difficult project that feels overwhelming, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Maybe it's because you want to advance your career, provide for your family, or develop a new skill that will open up new opportunities for you. By focusing on your deeper why, you can push through the discomfort because you understand that the task at hand is not just an unpleasant challenge, it's a necessary step towards something more meaningful. This deeper connection to your goals helps reduce the emotional resistance to discomfort and gives you the drive to keep going even when it feels tough. An additional layer to overcoming discomfort is building positive habits and routines that make pushing through easier. For example, athletes often train their bodies to perform under pressure through consistent practice. They don't wait until they feel ready or comfortable to perform. They train their minds and bodies to handle discomfort by repeatedly engaging in challenging tasks. This idea can be applied to any area of your life. By creating habits that regularly push you outside your comfort zone, you build the muscle to face discomfort head-on. Over time, you become less reactive to discomfort and more capable of moving through it with confidence and determination. Finally, celebrating small victories along the way can make the discomfort feel more rewarding. When you push through resistance and complete a difficult task, celebrate your efforts, even if it's just acknowledging your progress. Each time you face discomfort and overcome it, you reinforce the idea that discomfort doesn't need to be feared. It's something that can be conquered. Celebrating these small victories builds positive associations with discomfort, helping you to see it as a sign of growth rather than something to avoid. Over time, this reinforcement makes it easier to push through even bigger challenges because you've developed the belief that discomfort is not something to shy away from, but something you can overcome with resilience and determination. Developing a strong sense of purpose is one of the most effective ways to combat lazy thoughts and push past procrastination. When you are clear on your purpose, when you truly understand why you're doing something, it's much easier to overcome resistance and take action. Purpose acts as a powerful motivator, a guiding light that keeps you focused on the bigger picture. Without a strong sense of purpose, tasks often feel aimless and unimportant, making it much easier for lazy thoughts to take over. However, when you anchor your actions to a deep sense of purpose, the energy, effort, and commitment required to achieve your goals become far less daunting. The first step in developing a strong sense of purpose is to clearly define your why. Why do you want to achieve the goal you're working on? What is it that motivates you to get out of bed in the morning and take action? For some people, the purpose might be tied to family, financial freedom, or personal growth. For others, it might be about leaving a legacy, creating something meaningful, or contributing to society in a positive way. Whatever your purpose may be, it's crucial to understand it deeply. When you have a clear why, you're much less likely to give in to lazy thoughts or procrastination because you have a compelling reason to keep moving forward. The bigger the why, the easier it is to push through discomfort and challenge. This clarity of purpose helps you to avoid feeling overwhelmed by the small, mundane tasks that often fill your day. When you're focused on the larger picture, the little obstacles along the way become much easier to navigate. For instance, if you're trying to get in shape and the process feels slow or frustrating, remembering your purpose, whether it's to live a longer, healthier life, to feel better about yourself, or to be able to keep up with your children, gives you the strength to keep going. Rather than focusing on the temporary discomfort, you keep your eyes on the ultimate goal, understanding that each small step you take is contributing to that larger purpose. Furthermore, developing a sense of purpose requires deep reflection. It's not enough to merely say, I want to be successful or I want to be healthy. These are broad, general statements that lack the emotional power to drive action. To cultivate a strong sense of purpose, you need to dig deeper and ask yourself what truly matters to you. What values do you hold dear? What would you want to accomplish in your life if you knew you couldn't fail? This process of introspection will help you discover your true motivations, the things that resonate deeply with your soul. These insights will not only help you find direction, but also provide the drive to take consistent action toward your goals. A powerful sense of purpose also aligns with your values, which can make it much easier to push through challenges. When your goals are aligned with your core values, you're naturally more driven to achieve them. For example, if one of your core values is creativity and you are working on a project that allows you to express yourself, the sense of purpose behind it becomes clearer and the work feels more meaningful. But if you're working on something that doesn't align with your values or passions, it's easy to fall into laziness or procrastination. In this case, your sense of purpose isn't strong enough to keep you motivated. The key, then, is to ensure that your actions and goals align with what you truly believe in and care about. When you're working towards something that matters to you on a deeper level, the process itself becomes more enjoyable and lazy thoughts lose their power over you. Another important aspect of developing a strong sense of purpose is creating a vision of the future. A vision helps you connect your current actions to future rewards and fulfillment. When you can clearly see the positive impact your efforts will have on your future self, you're far more likely to stay focused and motivated. For instance, if you're working on a business project, having a clear vision of how successful your business will be and the freedom it will give you in the future can be an incredibly motivating force. When you think about the future in vivid detail, whether it's in terms of career, relationships, or personal growth, it can help eliminate lazy thoughts that stem from the fear of the present moment or from the perception that the effort isn't worth it. Building a sense of purpose also requires discipline. It's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like we need motivation to get things done, but motivation often doesn't show up when we need it. Discipline, on the other hand, is the consistent effort to show up and do the work even when you don't feel like it. And a sense of purpose is what fuels that discipline. When you have a reason to act, it's easier to create a routine that supports that reason. This is especially true when it comes to long-term goals that require sustained effort. Having a purpose gives you the strength to stay disciplined in the face of adversity, to keep going even when things get tough or when you don't see immediate results. The clearer and more powerful your purpose is, the easier it will be to maintain the discipline necessary to keep working toward your goals. In addition, purpose helps you overcome distractions. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with distractions, social media, entertainment, endless to-do lists, and other people's demands on our time. These distractions can easily derail us from our goals and make it more difficult to stay on task. However, when you are grounded in a strong sense of purpose, you have a built-in filter for these distractions. You'll start to recognize when something is taking you off course, and you'll have the motivation to say no to the things that don't align with your purpose. This sense of focus and clarity helps you stay productive and avoid wasting time on things that don't move you closer to your goals. An important aspect of living with purpose is also recognizing that purpose is not a destination, it's a journey. The process of pursuing a meaningful goal becomes an integral part of your purpose. Every day, you have the opportunity to take actions that align with your purpose, and every small step is part of the larger picture. This helps you stay engaged and motivated as you see how each action contributes to the overall narrative of your life. When you find meaning in the journey itself, rather than solely focusing on the end result, the work becomes more enjoyable, and the lazy thoughts that might hold you back lose their influence. Finally, remember that purpose isn't just about achieving external success, it's about internal fulfillment. Achieving a goal may bring external rewards, but the true value lies in the internal sense of satisfaction and meaning that comes from knowing that your actions are aligned with your purpose. When your daily activities are connected to something meaningful, your work no longer feels like a chore. It becomes a form of self-expression and contribution. This deep sense of purpose is what helps you persist through challenges, take action when you'd rather rest, and stay motivated in the long run. A strong sense of purpose is ultimately the antidote to lazy thoughts, providing you with the drive to push through resistance and stay committed to your vision. Cultivating mental clarity and focus is an essential step in overcoming lazy thoughts and maximizing productivity. In today's world, where distractions are everywhere, social media, emails, endless notifications, and other people's demands, it's incredibly easy to lose track of our thoughts and intentions. When our minds are cluttered with too many ideas, worries, and distractions, it becomes impossible to concentrate on the task at hand, leading to procrastination and a lack of productivity. Mental clarity is about having a focused mind, free from the clutter that hinders us from performing at our best. Developing this clarity isn't something that happens overnight, but it's a skill that can be honed over time with intentional effort. When you can learn to direct your mental energy towards one goal or task, you set yourself up for success and break free from the grip of lazy thoughts. The first step in cultivating mental clarity is recognizing the importance of eliminating distractions. Distractions are everywhere, whether it's the ping of your phone, the pull of a social media feed, or the noise around you. These distractions not only take away your time, but also fragment your attention, making it difficult to focus on what truly matters. If you are serious about overcoming laziness and increasing your productivity, you need to set boundaries and create an environment conducive to deep focus. This could mean turning off notifications on your phone, setting a specific time to check emails, or finding a quiet place where you can think clearly without interruptions. You might also find it helpful to use tools that help reduce distractions, such as website blockers that prevent access to social media or other time-wasting websites. By reducing the number of distractions in your life, you give your mind the opportunity to focus on one thing at a time, making it easier to complete tasks and move forward without getting derailed by unnecessary interruptions. Once you've minimized distractions, the next step is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your full attention to the present moment without judgment or distraction. It's easy for our minds to wander, especially when faced with a task we are not excited about. But mindfulness allows us to ground ourselves in the here and now. When you cultivate mindfulness, you become more aware of your thoughts and can better control them. Instead of allowing your mind to spiral into a sea of worries, doubts, or procrastination, you can center yourself and focus on the task at hand. This practice can involve simple techniques such as breathing exercises, meditation, or taking a moment to pause and recalibrate when you feel overwhelmed or distracted. By regularly practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to be more disciplined, focused, and present, which ultimately helps you overcome lazy thoughts and stay on track with your goals. Another key component of mental clarity is prioritization. Often, we feel overwhelmed and unable to focus because we have too many things on our plate. When faced with a long to-do list, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to do everything at once, which leads to mental overload and indecision. This lack of focus can create a sense of paralysis, where we end up procrastinating rather than taking action. To combat this, it's crucial to learn how to prioritize your tasks effectively. Not all tasks are equally important, and not all tasks need to be done right away. Take a step back and evaluate what truly needs to be accomplished and when. You can use various techniques to prioritize your tasks, such as the Eisenhower matrix, where you categorize tasks based on urgency and importance, or the eat that frog method, where you tackle the most difficult or unpleasant task first. When you can clearly identify which tasks deserve your attention, you'll be able to focus on them with more clarity and energy rather than getting bogged down by less important tasks. Time management also plays a critical role in cultivating mental clarity. Without proper time management, it's easy to feel like there's not enough time to accomplish everything, which leads to feelings of overwhelm and procrastination. Learning how to manage your time effectively is a game changer when it comes to mental clarity. One effective strategy is to break your day into focused blocks of time. This technique, known as time blocking, involves setting aside specific periods for focused work free from distractions. You can use a timer to ensure that you stay within the allotted time for each task, helping you to remain disciplined and focused. By scheduling your time thoughtfully and committing to focused work sessions, you reduce the mental clutter of wondering what to do next, which in turn enhances your clarity and focus. Equally important is the practice of setting clear goals and intentions. Without a clear sense of what you're working towards, it's easy for your mind to wander and for lazy thoughts to take hold. When you set specific, measurable goals, you give your mind a clear direction and purpose. Rather than leaving your tasks open-ended or vague, break them down into actionable steps. For example, instead of saying, "I need to write a report," say, "I will write the introduction to my report in the next 30 minutes. When your goals are clear and specific, it's easier to focus your mental energy on achieving them. Every task becomes a small milestone, and with each one, you move closer to your larger goal. This sense of direction eliminates the mental fog that often leads to procrastination and keeps you focused on what matters most. Another important strategy for cultivating mental clarity is practicing regular reflection. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, but taking time to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and goals is crucial for mental clarity. Reflection helps you gain insight into what's working and what's not, allowing you to make adjustments as needed. You can reflect at the end of each day or week, asking yourself questions like, what did I accomplish today? What went well? What could I improve? Reflecting on your progress helps you stay on track, reinforces your sense of purpose, and clarifies your next steps. By making reflection a regular habit, you create space for self-awareness, which ultimately enhances your focus and decision-making abilities. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle also plays a key role in mental clarity. The mind and body are deeply connected, and when you take care of your physical health, your mental clarity naturally improves. Proper nutrition, exercise, and adequate sleep are all essential for keeping your brain sharp and focused. Poor eating habits, lack of exercise, and insufficient sleep can lead to brain fog, lack of energy, and difficulty concentrating, all of which contribute to lazy thoughts and procrastination. On the other hand, when you prioritize your physical well-being, you give your brain the fuel it needs to function at its best. Incorporating regular exercise into your routine, eating a balanced diet, and ensuring you get enough rest can significantly boost your mental clarity, focus, and productivity. Lastly, embracing the concept of single tasking rather than multitasking is a powerful way to maintain mental clarity. While multitasking may seem efficient, it actually fragments your attention and reduces your ability to focus deeply on any one task. When you multitask, your mind constantly switches between different activities, which can lead to mistakes, decreased productivity, and mental fatigue. Instead, focus on one task at a time and give it your full attention. By practicing single tasking, you allow your mind to immerse itself fully in the work, leading to better results and a clearer sense of accomplishment. This approach may take some time to get used to, especially in a world that constantly encourages multitasking, but the rewards in terms of mental clarity and productivity are well worth the effort. By cultivating mental clarity and focus through these various strategies, you not only eliminate lazy thoughts, but also enhance your ability to perform at your highest level. Clarity empowers you to make decisions, prioritize tasks, and execute your plans with precision. It allows you to push past distractions, stay disciplined, and build momentum toward your goals, ultimately leading to a more productive and fulfilling life. One of the most powerful tools in overcoming lazy thoughts and fostering productivity is consistency. Consistency is the key to building momentum and achieving long-term success. In the face of procrastination and distractions, people often look for quick fixes or bursts of motivation, but these are short-lived and unsustainable. The real difference comes from the ability to show up day after day and commit to doing the work even when it feels difficult or uninspiring. When you consistently put in the effort, no matter how small, you gradually build the habits and mindset needed to break free from laziness and unlock your potential. The first step in harnessing the power of consistency is understanding the importance of routines. Routines are the backbone of consistency because they automate actions and decisions, freeing up mental energy for other tasks. When you have a routine, you don't need to rely on motivation to get started. You simply follow the steps you've set for yourself. This is especially valuable in moments when you feel uninspired or when lazy thoughts threaten to derail your progress. For instance, if you want to build the habit of writing every day, set a specific time each day for writing. Whether it's early in the morning, during lunch, or before bed, having a fixed time removes the need for decision making and takes the pressure off. It becomes a part of your routine, and as a result, you're less likely to procrastinate because the act of writing is now integrated into your daily life. Another key aspect of consistency is setting small, achievable goals that you can consistently work toward. While big, audacious goals are motivating, they can also feel overwhelming and lead to procrastination. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, bite-sized tasks makes them more manageable and less intimidating. Each small success builds your confidence and strengthens your ability to stay consistent. For example, instead of telling yourself, I'm going to write a 100,000 word book, break it down into smaller goals like writing 500 words a day. This not only makes the task seem less daunting, but also reinforces the habit of writing every day. When you achieve these smaller goals consistently, you will eventually reach the larger goal without the need for overwhelming effort or pressure. Creating specific habits that support your goals is another crucial component of consistency. Habits are the actions we perform regularly and automatically, often without much thought or effort. These small, repeated actions compound over time, creating significant results. To make consistency work for you, focus on building habits that align with your long-term objectives. For example, if you want to improve your physical health, create a consistent habit of exercising each day, whether it's going for a walk, hitting the gym, or practicing yoga. The key is to start small and gradually increase the intensity or duration over time. This gradual progression ensures that the habit becomes sustainable and you don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do too much too quickly. The power of habit is that once formed, these behaviors become ingrained and require less mental effort to continue. One effective technique for forming habits is known as the habit stacking method. This involves pairing a new habit with an existing one. For example, if you already have a morning routine of brushing your teeth, you can stack a new habit onto that routine, such as doing a 5-minute meditation session after brushing your teeth. By linking a new habit to something you already do automatically, you create a natural flow that makes the new habit easier to adopt. The consistency of the existing habit helps reinforce the new one, making it more likely that you'll stick with it over time. Habit stacking is a simple but powerful way to integrate positive habits into your daily life without feeling overwhelmed. Another important consideration in the pursuit of consistency is understanding the role of patience. Building consistent habits and achieving long-term goals is a gradual process, and it requires time and persistence. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, it can be easy to become discouraged when progress doesn't come as quickly as expected. However, true success is built on steady, consistent efforts over time. Patience allows you to embrace the process without becoming frustrated by the slow pace of progress. For example, when trying to learn a new skill or achieve a fitness goal, the results won't be immediate. However, if you consistently put in the effort day after day, you will eventually see progress. Recognizing that it's the compound effect of small, consistent actions that lead to big results will help you stay motivated and committed to your goals, even when you don't see instant results. Another strategy to support consistency is tracking your progress. By tracking your efforts, you create a visual representation of your journey, which can be highly motivating. Whether it's a fitness goal, a writing project, or a professional milestone, tracking your progress allows you to see how far you've come and how close you are to your ultimate goal. Use a journal, a planner, or a digital app to track your daily actions and celebrate the small victories along the way. This practice of tracking serves as both a reminder of your commitment and a source of encouragement, helping to keep lazy thoughts at bay. While consistency is essential, it's also important to understand that perfection is not the goal. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up or when things don't go according to plan. That's normal. What matters is getting back on track after setbacks and continuing to show up even when you don't feel like it. Perfectionism can often lead to procrastination because you feel like you need to do everything perfectly or not at all. Instead, embrace the idea of progress over perfection. Even if you make mistakes or miss a day, the important thing is to keep moving forward. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect every day. It means showing up regularly and making incremental progress over time. To maintain consistency in the face of challenges, it's crucial to stay connected to your purpose and your why. The more clearly you understand why you are pursuing a goal, the easier it becomes to remain consistent even when motivation wanes. When you connect your actions to a deeper sense of purpose, you create an inner drive that transcends fleeting feelings of laziness or resistance. For instance, if your goal is to become a writer, remembering why you want to write, whether it's to share your story, to inspire others, or to build a career, can help you push through moments of self-doubt or procrastination. By staying grounded in your why, you ensure that consistency is not dependent on fleeting motivation, but on a deeper, more meaningful connection to your goals. Additionally, surrounding yourself with support and accountability can make a huge difference in maintaining consistency. Having someone to share your journey with, whether it's a mentor, a coach, a friend, or a group of like-minded individuals, helps keep you accountable and motivated. When you know that someone else is checking in on your progress or that you're part of a community working towards similar goals, it becomes much easier to stay consistent. Accountability creates an external layer of responsibility, which can be a powerful motivator, especially on days when lazy thoughts try to take over. When you commit to a goal in a public or shared way, it reinforces your resolve and makes it harder to quit. The idea of consistency is also deeply tied to developing resilience. As you work toward your goals, you will face setbacks, challenges, and obstacles. Resilience is the ability to stay committed to your goals despite these difficulties. Cultivating resilience means accepting that failure and challenges are a natural part of the journey, not a reason to give up. Consistency requires resilience because the path to success is rarely linear. There will be days when progress feels slow or when external factors work against you. However, by building the resilience to keep going, you increase your ability to remain consistent in the face of adversity. Resilience strengthens your capacity to bounce back from setbacks, helping you maintain your focus and motivation even when things don't go as planned. Finally, remember that consistency doesn't require doing the same thing in the same way every day. The key is showing up consistently, but the methods you use to reach your goals may evolve as you learn and grow. Flexibility and adaptability are important qualities in your pursuit of consistency. If you encounter roadblocks or discover that something isn't working, adjust your approach while still staying committed to the overarching goal. Consistency is about maintaining the discipline to continue, but it also involves being open to new strategies and approaches that might be more effective. By harnessing the power of consistency and habit formation, you create a foundation for long-term success and personal growth. Consistency removes the reliance on motivation, which can be fleeting, and replaces it with sustainable, repeatable actions that gradually lead to the accomplishment of your goals. When you form positive habits, stay resilient in the face of setbacks, and remain committed to your journey, lazy thoughts become less of an obstacle and your potential becomes limitless. In conclusion, overcoming lazy thoughts and embracing a mindset of consistency is the key to unlocking your true potential. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of instant results or to succumb to procrastination, but true success is found in the daily habits and the consistent effort we put into our goals. By cultivating clarity, focusing on the present moment, and building strong habits, you set yourself on a path toward achieving anything you set your mind to. It's not about waiting for the right time or for motivation to strike. It's about showing up day after day and doing the work, no matter how small. Remember, the power to change lies within you. By conquering your lazy thoughts and committing to the discipline of consistency, you will not only see progress in your goals, but also experience growth in your character and resilience. The journey won't always be easy, but with each step, you'll be building a future that reflects your best self. So take action today, let go of the distractions, and start moving forward, one consistent step at a time. The world is waiting for you to unleash your potential, and with consistency, there's nothing that can stop you.